Mr. Wonderful Kevin O Leary has grown increasingly frustrated with Kamala Harris's lack of specificity in her economic plan. And he's promised to make some pretty bold moves if what she's hinted at actually becomes law. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
Who is it? Who's better for the economy?
I don't know yet because I don't have any details from Harris. She has been all sugar, no protein. That's it. And it's become a really big sticking point with investors. We've got to remember we have the largest economy on earth. Over 85% of our jobs are created by the private sector. Business investors like me and leaders have to deal with who's ever in the White House in January. So whoever ends up on the 6th of November as the new mandate, we'll have to deal with them. So we need data. We need policy. And I'm getting a little critical now because I don't have any. So I need answers around taxation. For example, if you tell me that taxes are going to be 28% plus state taxes on corporations' headquarters, I'll have to worry that they move to Ireland again, because we did that to them once, and that didn't work out for us very well. I really need to understand the idea of price controls. That didn't work in the 70s. It doesn't work anywhere else on earth. And this whole idea of taxing unrealized gains, I mean, that you got to remember the number one export of America is the American dream. This is a 200-year-old economy that's based on supporting entrepreneurship. That destroys capital formation. Those ideas are beyond non-starters. They're crazy. And so you have to get more details on that. And I'd like her to sit down with a non-celebrity interviewer, a real reporter that asks her questions and follow-on questions. This kumbaya stuff with, pictures of kids and everything, it's great, and I get it, and I'm not criticizing her for it because it's working for her in the polls. But now we need details, and we don't have any.
Okay, so Mr. Wonderful brought up Kamala Harris's lack of specificity around corporate taxes, which she has promised to raise but hasn't said how high, price controls, which she has promised to enforce on housing costs, and finally a tax on unrealized capital gains, which she has alluded to on more than one occasion. So yes, she's hinted at a lot of different initiatives, but she hasn't etched any of those policies in stone. And that's the thing that's keeping Mr. Wonderful up at night. He even raised the possibility that if corporate tax rates rose to 28%, he'd have to move his companies back to Ireland. But there's one thing that Kamala Harris has been pretty specific on, and that's her promise that no one making under $400,000 per year would experience a tax increase. The only problem with this promise is that the Trump tax cuts expire on January 1st, 2026, and every single taxpayer across the board would experience an increase in their tax bill under current law. In order to forestall that, Kamala Harris would have to win a simple majority in the Senate so that under budget reconciliation, she can extend the Trump tax cuts exclusively on those in the 24% bracket or lower for another 8 years. The current 24% bracket ends at $383,900 in 2024, so I'm assuming they would simply adjust that for inflation in 2025 so that the top of the 24% bracket would hit almost exactly $400,000. Anyone in the current 32% bracket or higher would likely see their tax rates revert back to where they were in 2017. So the current 32, 35, and 37 would become 33, 35, and 39.6. They'd likely see a healthy tax bracket compression to go along with it, meaning that they could lower the income levels at which you hit those various tax thresholds. So what does this mean for those of you who are saving for retirement and trying to wring the most efficiency out of your retirement savings? It means that there's a good chance that regardless of who gets elected, if you're currently in the 24% bracket or lower, your tax rate could well stay the same for another 8 years. Remember, Trump has said he plans on extending his own tax cuts for another 8 years if elected. That means regardless of who gets elected, the tax cut on those making $400,000 or less would expire in 2032 or so, which gives you plenty of time to reposition your retirement savings to tax-free accounts so you can shield yourself from a dramatic increase in taxes down the road. Take advantage of tax rates while they're historically low so you can get your retirement savings repositioned to Roth IRAs. And if you have another 8 years to take advantage of low tax rates, you can stretch that tax obligation out over multiple years, increasing the likelihood that you'll stay in a tax bracket that doesn't give you heartburn. Make it your goal to get to the 0% tax bracket in retirement. Why is the 0% tax bracket so important? Because if tax rates double, as many experts are now predicting, 2 times 0 is still 0. Folks, my upcoming book, The Guru Gap, How America's Financial Gurus Are Leading You Astray and How to Get Back on Track, is now available for pre-order on Amazon. Take the opportunity to order your copy today. By the way, in the next 10 years, I'm looking to put 1 million Americans on the road to the 0% tax bracket. If you would like some help implementing a balanced, comprehensive approach to tax-free retirement that shields you from the impact of higher taxes down the road, head on over to davemcknight.com and click on the Connect with an Advisor button. I'm happy to refer you to an advisor in the Power Zero network that has been trained, vetted, and qualified personally by me. If you're a financial professional and want to learn how to become a certified Power Zero advisor, head over to powerzero.com and opt into my free video series. And if you have any comments or questions, feel free to drop them into the comment section below. I'll respond to every single one of them personally. And don't forget to click like, subscribe, and the bell so you never miss a video. This is David McKnight. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.